Welcome to the first video of 2026. I know it's been a while and this is probably the longest break I ever took, but now I'm back and today I want to do a little catch up and I want to go through my wardrobe wish list for the new year. I also want to give you some content plans so you can know what to expect from me in the future. And then lastly, I'm gonna answer your questions and give you the answers. I'm gonna start with my wardrobe wish list, which I already created in my index app, and I have 3, 6, 9, 10 items in total, and I know this is a lot less than usual, but I just feel this year I want to be a lot more spontaneous. That's why I just written down the really important items for me. And also I feel because of the previous year I added so many amazing pieces to my wardrobe, now I just don't have that many gaps anymore. So obviously my wardrobe wish list is going to reflect that. And the first item that I have here, and I think I can just share the screen, is just an off-white puffer vest, because I think this one would be amazing to wear on its own, obviously, but then also underneath my white wool coat or black wool coat, so I can have a little bit more contrast. And yeah, this is something that I want to buy, that it's really nice, high quality, and also that it doesn't have noticeable details, so it's very versatile. And then the second item on my list is just a cropped denim jacket, and this is actually an upgrade that I want to make, because my current denim jacket, I just feel it's too tight. I had it for years and I kind of want to have something that it fits me a little bit better, and that's why I want to find another one, maybe also in a just slightly lighter color this year, so I just feel a little bit more relaxed. Then when it comes to my denim shorts, this is also another upgrade that I want to make, because I just feel that I've outgrown my old shorts. Those are really short. I'm not sure if they qualify as, I don't know, Daisy Dukes. This is something that I've heard. I'm not even sure what it means, but for me, they're just sometimes too short, and I just want to have something that it's a little bit more covered up and also a little bit more longer and also elegant. And then if I continue, very importantly, my white button-up, I also want to upgrade. Currently, I just have one in my collection, and that is the silk button-up, that it's yellow, it's kind of stained. And also when it comes to the style, I feel I want to do something different this time around, and I want to go for something a little bit more structured, because my white silk button-up, as gorgeous as it is, sometimes I just feel it's just a little bit too flowy, a little bit too blousy, if that's a word, for my taste. And this is something that I want to go and search for really soon, so keep an eye on that. Then I have dark wash bootcut jeans, and that is because, you know, this year I've added the white jeans to my collection, and then also just the white medium wash jeans to my collection. So I was thinking that I also want to have something in a dark wash color that it's a little bit wider at the bottom, and I was thinking something like a bootcut jean. It would look amazing. This item that it's next, it's a white crop button up. This one is actually just, I wouldn't say a fantasy self, but it's just kind of like a nice idea. So I'm still not sure how I'm gonna feel about it once I try it on. But I saw it on some people and I was like, I love this. I think it would be amazing with all of my high-waisted jeans and high-waisted pants. So I just added it to my wish list, and then once I'm gonna be in the store and try them on, I can see if this item actually makes sense for my lifestyle or not. And then I also have the oversized beige wool or cashmere roll neck, because I already have the black one in my collection that I love and wear all of the time. So it just makes sense to have another color, lighter color in my collection. And for me, this one is kind of important, but I'm not sure now that we're in January if the season is kind of already over. Maybe I can have a look to see if they have some things on sale. Maybe I'm gonna have to wait for this one till the next fall. But yeah, I think having something like this would be pretty amazing. And then I also have just a leather mini or midi skirt, but honestly, it doesn't even have to be leather. I just want to have a skirt that it's a little bit different to everything that I have in my wardrobe at the moment. Currently, I have just a mini denim skirt. I have a black mini skirt. Then I also have this white check skirt. And I'm trying to think if I have anything else. Oh, I also have a satin midi skirt. So these are the 4 skirts that I have in my collection. And I think that having something that is high-waisted and midi length, that is just a little bit more fitted and structured, that would be amazing. Maybe even if it's a denim skirt that it's a little bit longer, I think that would be amazing. But again, it's something I have to go into the store, try it on, and then I see how I feel about it. And then I also have a fun essential on my list, which is just a nude classic t-shirt that it's a little bit more fitted, so I can both wear it on its own and then also underneath my jumpers, underneath my knitwear, all of that. So it's kind of 2-in-1, and I actually already wanted to buy it, but then it went out of stock because I found it from Skims, I think it's the brand, but now, as I've said, it's not available anymore. So maybe if you know any kind of brands that are similar to Skims or something like that, leave me a comment down below. But I think this would be really fun and amazing to have for the entire year. And then lastly, this is something I had on my wish list in the last year, and that is just a classic long shirt dress. Here I have it in the white color, but I'm also open to getting it in the black color because both of them are really versatile and neutral, and I can just dress them up as much as I want to. So this is a wish list in a nutshell, but I'm also curious, what are some of your wish list items for the new year? If you can, leave me a comment down below. And now I also want to talk about my content plans for the new year, which they're not going to be huge changes, but I just want to give you a few updates. And the first one is because, as you kind of already know, I kind of stepped away from minimalism. I think this year my content is going to reflect that. I'm still going to talk about decluttering and shopping tips and being mindful with fashion, all of that. But then at the same time, I think I'm also going to lean a lot more into fashion and styling because this is something that I kind of missed and I want to explore a little bit more. And then I also have a new series planned for this year that I kind of done in the past and then stopped. But pretty much what I want to do is, at the end of each month, I want to give you my wardrobe updates. I want to kind of vlog throughout the month when I go shopping, or even if I'm online shopping and trying things on. I want to kind of take you with me behind the scenes so you can see how I make my decisions, and you can also see how my wardrobe wishlist is doing, if I'm changing anything. And then also, I think at the end of the month, I can give you my beauty and makeup empties. I can show you some of the items that I really loved, some of the items that I really hated, because this is something I've really enjoyed. So it's kind of gonna be a wardrobe beauty update video every month, and hopefully you're as excited about this as I am. And this is it when it comes to content updates. Nothing special, as I've said, just a few changes. And then also, lastly, I wanted to mention that if you ever have any video ideas or questions or anything you want me to cover, just leave me a comment down below under any video, because I do my best to read all of them and then of course take them to heart. And now to the last portion of the video, the Q&A, and I have all of your questions right here. So I'm just gonna go through of them in no particular order, and I'm gonna do my best to answer them. And I also wanna mention I got this both from Instagram stories and then on YouTube posts. So the first question is, what shoes, boots do you find the best quality and comfort and worth to buy? Now, when it comes to my capsule wardrobe, you can kind of already know that my white sneakers that I got from Converse are really well loved, well used. My cost per wear is really low. I wear them all of the time and I swear by them. And honestly, I think any kind of white sneaker, usually these are gonna be very comfortable and the cost per wear is gonna be low and they're not gonna be super expensive. So this is definitely, if you like the look, the type of shoe that I would recommend. And then I also have a pair of boots that I actually swear by, and these are the Stuart Weitzman over the knee. I think they're called 50-50 boots, and they're really expensive, I have to admit. But I also wear this non-stop. I wore them today actually, and it's snowing outside. You know, I wear them pretty much in any kind of weather situation. They're really stylish, they're really comfortable. I'm not sure about the cost per wear, so I'm just gonna include it on the screen, but I absolutely love these boots as well. And then I also have to talk about Livaya, which, full disclaimer, I used to work with them in the past and they sent me, I think, 7 different pairs of shoes. And honestly, I like them a lot. They're comfortable, they're stylish. And when it comes to the quality, I had them, I think some pairs I had for 8 months, others for just a few months, so I don't have the long-term data, but from what I'm seeing, they're good quality and they're gonna last me for a really long time. So this is also something that I wanted to mention, and I hope this is helpful. Next question is, tell us your top 5 destinations you would go and top 3 you have been, which is kind of a hard question to answer, honestly, because I'm not traveling all that much, but I can start with the top 3 destinations I've been to. I would probably say Acapulco, because this was really a unique experience. We were kind of at the resort and it was just so unique and special. And then the second destination would probably be Doha, which I wouldn't go there again necessarily. I've only been once, but the reason I kind of remember it is because it was such a unique experience. It was just such a different culture shift and it was so fascinating observing everything. And also I've been there with my husband. I mean, he was my boyfriend at the time. And yeah, it was just such a nice memory. So I would say that one. And then I'm trying to think of the third one. Because I lived there for a while, I kind of don't, in my head, I don't count it as a destination. It's kind of a place where you live. But I think London, I love it so much. It's amazing. So I'm just gonna kind of, this is gonna be a bonus point. So other destination I would probably add is Nice, France. I've been there once, and just the whole coast, the south coast of France, I think it's really beautiful and it's something where I would also like to go again. So this is kind of 2-in-1 answer. But then to other destinations I would love to go to. I want to go to Sardinia because of the beaches. I actually been there once, but I just accompanied my husband on the work thing and we didn't explore anything. So I would love to go there again and just, in the summer when it's hot so we can swim. I think the beaches are really cool. I've also never been to Portugal, which I think it would be amazing. I don't know, I've been to Spain many times. I love Spain so much. But yeah, maybe Portugal. And maybe I would like to go to America again. I've been to Miami, I've been to Indian Wells. But because again, my husband was working, I was with him, we didn't explore a lot. So I feel if I would go there again, but not in a work setting, maybe I could just explore a little bit more. And maybe Los Angeles. Oh, I would love to see Los Angeles. I'm not sure. Maybe New York, things like that. So I hope this kind of covers everything. As I've said, I'm not a huge traveler. Honestly, I love my European destinations so much. I love Vienna, I love Venice, I love so many things, like London, it's really close to me. I love so many things close to me. That's why I don't kind of have the need to travel a lot. But yeah, I hope this is a satisfying answer. And then the third question is, do you ever buy secondhand? Why do or don't you? Used to not like it, but now I do. I think this is a really good question. And honestly, this year I do want to explore the secondhand a little bit more. And I think the main reason, because when I lived in the UK, me and my sister, we constantly thrifted and shopped secondhand. If I could find anything, I bought it, no problem. But where I live, this was kind of limited for a really long time. Now they're kind of opening the stores a lot more. But still, it's kind of a small selection, so you have to be really lucky to find something. And that is the main reason, because of the accessibility where I live, it's kind of harder to shop secondhand. It's not impossible, and it's improved a lot. So this year, I also want to challenge myself to buy secondhand a lot more. Obviously, I encourage anyone, if we can buy secondhand, let's do it, because it's so much better for our wallet and environment. And then the next question is, how do you think your content has evolved? If you could speak to your old content creating self, what would you advise to do differently, if anything? Ooh, I feel my content has evolved so much. Honestly, when I started YouTube, I was convinced I'm only gonna talk about minimalism, not even fashion, just minimalism. And then when I started doing that, I was kind of like, ooh, but I still wanna talk about fashion. So I started talking about fashion. And then for a while, I only talked about fashion, and then I kind of missed minimalism. So I was kind of going back and forth a lot. And honestly, the biggest advice I would give myself again is that don't overcommit in the beginning, because you're not sure what you're gonna love creating and what other people are gonna love watching. And I think because my brain, I just want to plan everything and, just be sure of everything. I kind of, when I made the decision that I'm gonna do, let's say, minimalist content, I really committed even after I was feeling that I wanna explore something else. I always waited too long for the small pivots in the beginning, if that makes sense. Because as I've said, you're not gonna know, if you start a YouTube channel, you're just not gonna know what you like and what other people like. So it's okay in the beginning to experiment a little bit more, to see what you like and what you don't like. And then you're gonna get the data from your heart and from your joy, and also from the people watching. And then you can kind of commit to a specific niche or topic and, something that makes sense to you. So yes, I feel a lot has changed. And with every year, I kind of understand myself more and my audience more, and I can create content that makes the most sense for all of us, so we're all happy. And then the next question is, how did you find out your style? How would you describe it? I've talked about this before on this channel, but how I found my style primarily is through analyzing and decluttering at the same time, because I decluttered so many times and then I was buying similar things over and over again. I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. So what I started doing is that when I was decluttering and I put something on my body, I started analyzing it. What is the neck? What is the sleeve length? What is the fit? What is the cut? What is the color? Does it have a pattern? Does it have any details? What is the material? What is the brand? I started analyzing every single piece, and this is how I really discovered my yeses and my nos, and my shopping became so much easier, and I really discovered what I like and what I don't like. So this is the first thing that I did, but then also just by creating seasonal capsule wardrobes every 3 months, I was kind of honing into my style a little bit more and more and more, because when I was picking my favorite pieces for 3 months and then I had just a smaller selection to choose from, it was very obvious for me what kind of outfit formulas I reach for. To be honest, it took me a lot longer than necessary and was kind of, I was just doing trial and error. That's why I already made videos on this channel on how you can do it much quicker and more efficiently. But yeah, this is how I did it personally. And how I would describe it, honestly, I was never worried about the labels, but maybe I would say that it's definitely feminine, sexy. I like that kind of vibe. I also think that it's a little bit more polished or simplistic. Maybe that is something that I would say. I would say that I have this feminine, sexy vibe, that it's also a little bit more simple and minimal. And then question about the doggy, precious baby, how old is Bali? Honestly, I cannot believe it's been such a long time now, but in 2 months, in February, he's gonna be 3 years old, which I know he's really small, and so many people think he's still a puppy, but no, that's his grown size. He has 1.5 kilos, which I know he's so adorable, he's so small, but yeah, he's gonna be 3 years soon. And then the next question is, did you do a YouTube training course? And if yes, which one? So I actually did quite a few YouTube courses, because I do believe that if you want to achieve your goals, you can get that faster with someone who's an expert. But obviously not every course is worth the money or it's amazing. So at the beginning, I did a course just on the basics of YouTube, how to rank in the search engine of YouTube, how to make videos, how to make a YouTube channel, how to pick a name, just all of the basics, which honestly, I wouldn't necessarily buy this one again, because I think you can get this information for free very easily. It was useful, yes, but just not worth the money. But then I did the second course, which was a lot more useful, and I did it from, if you watch this kind of content, you're gonna know, but it was from Income School. And I was watching Nate Black. So he was kind of giving YouTube advice. So I took that course. It was nice. It was okay. I learned quite a lot, but honestly, it just didn't resonate quite that much. I find it a little bit too analytical for my brain. So even though I took a few things out of there, the biggest thing I took out of that course is actually the thumbnails. I realized that my thumbnails have to match with other thumbnails in my niche, because my thumbnails before were just so random and nobody was really clicking on my videos. And when I did that course, I kind of realized that I have to make sure that I fit in my niche, so my thumbnails look like fashion thumbnails, if that makes sense. But other than that, it's not something that I would do again, because I am already very organized and analytical. So I didn't need to have more of that in my life, I needed to have more of the other. And then I also did a third course that was really inexpensive, really quick. It was just kind of vlogging course. Yeah, it was nice, good food for thought, really inexpensive, nothing special there. But right now, I think it was 2 months ago, I was kind of like, let me reinvest the money, for the new year. And I joined the YouTube course that I honestly think is the best one yet. And it's actually from Erica Vieira. I hope I'm saying this correctly. I think it's called Zero to Influence. I don't know, it's kind of, it has coaching in there. And very importantly, we're all women. And that is, I think, what I was missing for such a long time, because so many of the courses out there are very analytical and left brain and just, data. And I feel I needed something with a heart. And honestly, if you're thinking about a course, this one I would do, because it really goes deeper. It goes into your heart. It goes into why you're doing YouTube in the first place, what kind of change you want to create in the world. You also have the analytical stuff, but it really goes to the heart of everything. And for me, this is really important, and something that my overthinking brain desperately needed. I needed to connect with my heart a little bit more. So hopefully this is useful. And then the next question is, does your past singing career or just singing in general influence your style? I would say because I grew up, going on the interviews and performing and doing music videos and all of that, I think what other people think as special occasion things, for me, this is kind of everyday wear. I think this is the biggest change that I'm kind of noticing. Oftentimes people are confused that I'm really dressed up to just go to the store or just work from home. They're like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, I'm just working from home. But I think that I kind of got used to kind of dressing up a little bit more. I think this is a really good question actually. And yeah, it did have an effect on me. And it just means that I really like to dress up a lot more than most people around me, but I enjoy it, so it's all good. And then the analytical question, how many clothes do you own in total for all seasons? How do you prevent overwhelm? So to answer this, I'm gonna go into my tracking app, of course, and I'm gonna give you the data. So in total for all seasons, I have 40 tops. I have 21 bottoms. I have 13 outerwear pieces. I have 14 dresses. I have 11 bags. I have 19 pairs of shoes. Then I also have accessories like my gloves and scarves and belts. I just have all of them in one group, and I have 19 of those. And lastly, in case you're curious about my jewelry, I have 39 jewelry pieces. So this is my entire wardrobe in my app, and hopefully this is helpful. As to how I avoid overwhelm, first one is regular decluttering, at least once a year, sometimes even more. But yeah, we have to declutter regularly to kind of stay on top of everything. But then very importantly, we also have to make sure new things don't come in. So by building a seasonal capsule wardrobe, this kind of lowers my need for shopping, because every 3 months I have a new capsule wardrobe and it's really fun for me. And then I also, as I mentioned, because I'm tracking my wardrobe and how much I'm wearing certain pieces, this really opened my eyes that I don't really need that much. And then I shop less, and because I bring less stuff in and because I declutter regularly, I'm not that overwhelmed anymore. But I've also made an entire video about this specific question, which I'm gonna link here and down below. So if you want more information, you can have a look. And then I have 2 more questions. The first one is, does the joy Bali gives you, besides your husband, of course, prevent you from shopping impulsively? I think with this one, absolutely. I mean, when you surround yourself with people and animals, pets, all of that bring you joy, of course, all of that is gonna help with shopping less. I think as I'm growing up, I think the priorities are naturally shifting. And even though I love fashion and shopping and all of that, it's really fun, at the end of the day, the things that bring us the most value are the people around us and our little pets, our little babies, fur babies. And yes, when your life is full, automatically we're just gonna have a lesser urge to shop. And yeah, I think this is a really good question. But then to the last one is that you seem to spend quite a bit of time apart from your husband. He travels a lot for work, I imagine. So I just want to check that you're happy together and maybe ask what you're doing together, if that's okay, please. I'd also selfishly like to know some of your memories from your time in the UK. So first thing is that my husband doesn't really travel that much anymore. He used to, but now we spend a lot more time together. And things that we really like, obviously going on a walk with Bali, we like, talking, me more than him, to be completely fair. And also, just recently we finished Selling Sunset and Selling the OC. He loves this kind of shows as well. I started watching them and he was like, what are you watching? And we just have a few things that we like to watch together, or Stranger Things, we just started watching that one. But, we've been together for 15 years, and I have to admit, yes, that this year we kind of want to do a little bit more hobbies, a little bit more dates together, because, life happens and you just kind of forget to do things together. So this year we just, want to do more stuff like swimming or just, going to the cinema. It doesn't really matter, just small little activities like that, maybe traveling, going on a trips a little bit more. But yeah. This is the first question answer, hopefully. And then the UK. I can talk about the UK so much. First, I want to say where exactly I've been, because I know I have a lot of you from the UK that are watching here. So I've lived in Welwyn Garden City, very specifically. So let me know if you know it, if you're close to there, but it's just kind of on the outside of London. So you could just hop onto the train and you've been in London in 30 minutes. So yeah, I feel like I lived in London London in a way, but still UK. And for me, I don't know if I mentioned that before, I moved there for my singing career, and also my husband was playing tennis, and I moved there with my sister and her boyfriend, and we kind of just moved without knowing a lot. It was just kind of, we were young, we were like, let's do this, let's have fun. And we went there, and it was really, really nice. I feel like I learned so much about myself in that time. I kind of had that distance from my past life. I mean, that's weird choice of words, but you know what I mean. It's like all of the things that you know, the people, everything, you kind of start from scratch, and you almost have this freedom to rediscover who you are. And I think this is something that really stuck with me, because I found parts of myself I didn't even know existed, because, you know, everything was so new and open. The people were amazing there. I also have some friends that I still speak to, and really, really nice memories. And then the biggest thing I appreciate, because we were there for 3 years and a half, is how comfortable I am speaking English. Before, I had a really strong accent and it just wasn't comfortable. But honestly, I just love it so much. And fun fact, now that I moved back, even when I'm journaling, I do it in English. When I'm planning, I do it in English. I'm reading books in English. I just consume content in English. I just am so happy that I feel like I opened so many doors for my brain and how much I can do and how much I can work, because English language became so comfortable and natural to me. And yeah, it was just really fun learning everything. So obviously, hopefully you can tell that I'm kind of lighting up. It's been really nice living there, and really nice memories, really nice people. But then the reason we kind of moved back is very simply because my sister and her boyfriend, they kind of broke up. He went back. She was studying in the school. She was gone for the entire day, just sleeping pretty much in the house. So I felt very lonely. And then my husband was traveling, and it was just, I just felt, all of a sudden I felt very lonely. And then I also missed the food, and also I miss the weather. Very importantly, the weather. I miss the scorching sun. I am kind of a cold person. I need that sun, I need the sea, I need all of that. So it was the weather, it was kind of the food, because I just love food where we are. And then of course, more importantly, the people. I also miss my family. I just missed my home. And yeah, so hopefully this answers everything. And if you have even more questions, you can watch my other Q&A that I did 1 year ago, where I explained some things a little bit more deeper. I got different questions back then, so you can watch this one next. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the first video of 2026. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and I cannot wait to make more videos for you this year. Bye!